I'm not quite sure why the BOJ would need to stimulate more, because as far as we can tell, economy is getting better slowly. Inflation at the moment is quite low, but it should tick up as we go to the end of the year. Wages have started going up. You've got the biggest wage hikes here since 1998. Now, the percentage increase is quite small, but that's a big change. And we're all about changing people's ideas about inflation. So I'm not really sure why we'd expect the BOJ to ease right now. Things seem to be going broadly to plan, I guess.
Well, here's the thing, though. Politically as well, doesn't Japan or Abe doesn't he need just a little bit of insurance? I mean, we've been talking a lot about the TPP, and it's kind of lurching through Congress stateside. Just in case that the bottom falls out of that, the BOJ needs to be there, doesn't it?
Well, already Japan's got by far and away the world's most aggressive monetary policy. That's why investing in Japan is so great at the moment, because the government and the BOJ are so determined to get inflation into the economy and get asset pricing going up, which includes the market, which is fantastic news for investors. But the big thing the economy needs to get ready for is if there's the consumption tax hike in 2017. Now then, certainly the economy needs to have sufficient momentum to get through it, because we saw the damage the last one did. But that's still some way off. So I'm not sure that we need that kind of insurance policy you're talking about right now. We need to let the policy work its way through a bit.
Okay. Now, a lot of foreign investors are optimistic about changes, including the stewardship code, the governance code, et cetera. I mean, the end goal of all this is to get that ROE up, which is what foreign investors have been wanting for I don't know how long, and they're now starting to get it. We've got calls that ROE could, on average, double to about 10%. But answer me this: if a lot of Japanese corporates are going to continue to be reluctant in terms of what they do with their excess money, meaning if they're not going to buy back shares, if they are not going to increase dividends, et cetera, that will ironically lead to higher ROE, will it not? But won't necessarily be shareholder friendly.
Well, you're right that the shareholder story is powerful here. I think it's worth saying why it's so powerful, because the other things we're talking about, like monetary stimulus, or some people talk about weak yen, or stable government, or these are all, or global economy improving, these are all temporary factors. I mean, they might last 3 or 4 or 5 years, but they're still temporary. But changes in corporate attitudes to corporate governance, these are structural and could last for many years. And that's why the market itself can re-rate. Now, it's at the very beginning, so we don't, some companies move faster than others, different companies do different things, but it's noticeable that companies that we never thought would change, like one big example is Fanuc, the global #1 in robots, who really did nothing to show they cared about shareholders, have started to change. And we think others will follow. And of course, different companies follow different policies, but overall, we think the direction is definitely the right one.